right, everyone. Welcome to the MMOs.com podcast. Episode 174. Altai here, joined by...
Remo.
All
The
right.
big R.
The
all right?
big R.
The big O. The big R. Cool Guy 69. That's it. I got no more nicknames.
Well, hopefully I fixed my mic problems from last week, and we are good to go for a new round.
All right, Altai. Anything exciting you do this last week? What have you been playing?
Exciting, not so much. I watched The Haunting of Hill House, which was a surprisingly good horror show. For someone who doesn't like horror, it's just I find it boring. Like, ooh, spooky ghost, But Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, pretty good show. It's got a few jump scares, but mostly it's, psychological horror, as they call it.
Ooh, fancy.
So I recommend that.
Cool. I played a bit of Dark Souls 3 this last week. I've never actually played a Dark Souls game until recently. Just started playing a bit of that. I played a bit of Luna Online recently. I love going back and playing old MMORPGs. I think I might be the only one in the world that enjoys playing really old, really bad games. I love it for some reason. It's really weird. I definitely am the only one on the earth like that, because this 2 days ago, or yesterday rather, I wanted to play Legend of Ares. So you can show that on Steam real quick. This
Sure.
game's on Steam. Like, I had an itch to play. You know what? I'm like, last time, I'm not doing anything. I really want to play an old, shitty game. I could be playing a good game, like Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, or like Guild Wars 2. I could play a good game, or I could play a shitty game. So I want to go play Legend of Ares. I downloaded it. I go to launch the game. I'm all excited to play Legend of Ares, and it says the game is shut down. And it's still on Steam for some reason, though. But yeah, this game shut down apparently on September 30th, 2018, and I had no idea it shut down until just recently. In fact, I bet nobody knows this game shut down because it's such a tiny game. They don't announce anything.
Wait,
So,
so it's on
unfortunately, this game is
Steam,
dead.
but you can't actually play it?
Nope. You can play a game, it'll download, and then when you go to launch the game on Steam, it'll launch the Red Fox launcher, and it'll say this game is shut down. So I wanted to play this game, and I couldn't do it, unfortunately. I played Luna Online earlier. I'm thinking about re-downloading Hero Online, all right? Or maybe like
Hero
Last
Plus
Chaos.
is what it's called now?
Hero Plus, my bad. So for some reason, I love playing like really old, really bad games. In fact, I played 300 Heroes this last week. It was the meme League of Legends ripoff straight from China. I played 5 Street this last week. I had a lot of fun playing that. I love going back and playing really old games. So that's been my week. And actually, in the post game, I'm going to show Altai some quality 5 Street emotes. He's seen some already before, but there's some really good stuff I want to show him in game. But that's for the post game.
I have it installed, so we will give it a shot in the post game. Awesome.
So we mentioned Record of Lotus War. Chad Clark, honestly, it is a good bad game. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, it adds nothing new to the genre, but it's just fun to play the game and grind. Like, it is what it is. It's what you expect from like an MMORPG like that. There's not too much depth. There's not too much there once you scratch the surface. But if you want to play an old game with this, like, I like the art style a lot, actually. Record of Lotus War. It's got this like really neat 2D anime look and isometric view. If you want to grind, it's a fun game to grind in. I think Redstone is as well. There's a lot of old games like that to meme around with. I'll put that on my list to play too.
Sounds good. Well,
so what do you got this week, Altai? I'm pretty sure you didn't put a weekly raid, but any big stories
weekly raid. I want to talk a little bit about Diablo again, but first something fun. I want to start with something fun this week.
Let's start with something fun. What do you got, Altai? What's fun?
Right, so I saw this on VentureBeat today, and they must have got paid to talk about this because this is a nonsense product here. It's called the Hum. It's a headset that makes you smarter and better at games.
What?
So you strap it to your face, your head. I'll go to their homepage here.
And they advertise it makes you smarter.
Yes, it makes you sharper. Update your brain like you update an app. Now, how much do you think VentureBeat got paid to put this up? Because this is obviously bullshit.
This looks like one of those infomercial products. How bullshit it is, like late night infomercials. Wow, look, they got the NBA on there. That's why those NBA players are so smart.
If you combine this with some Red Bull, then you get really smart.
Ooh, gotta get some Red Bull and the headband. So what is it actually supposed to do? Their slogan is "Think Better."
Well, it makes you think better, yo.
So how is it supposed to actually work? Does it like shock you or something? Like to prevent you from like getting lazy?
I have no clue how it works.
We all have those moments where you kind of like get lazy when you're playing a game. It's almost like falling asleep behind a wheel, right? You're playing a game, you're playing League, you're playing CS:GO. You're out of it. You're like zoning out. You're about to look at your other monitor, see what's going on Discord. It just zaps you. It just zapped you. And you just look at your screen. It might do something like that.
Hold up, it's got a white paper, and as
I
we know,
love white
the
papers.
Bitcoin craze has made the term white paper enter the common parlance.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pitch a scam without first releasing a white paper. That's the key.
Of course, they have a white paper. Oh, they're talking about the prefrontal cortex. All right, they know. All right, cognitive performance. I'm sold. All right, I see some like lines. I see a picture of a brain scan with some colors on it. I'm sold. Let me reserve my copy. How much?
Well, we can
how much
reserve
is
our copy,
edge?
boys. How much are they gonna charge us? Well, we gotta put our phone number in. They won't even tell us.
Yikes.
So that's a fun little scam right there. I had fun with that. Just imagine people playing like on Twitch with these things strapped to their face, trying to get you to buy
It's
them.
almost like at the mall booths, right? They sell like those like reverse ions things. They're supposed to like reverse your negative ions and like enhance your blood flow or something. It's bullshit. I didn't even read the story, but I'm gonna go in and call it a scam. All right, I'm calling bullshit as I sees it.
It injects one dose of placebo directly into your brain every hour.
Ooh, that's true. Actually, honestly, the placebo effect is hella strong. So just by putting this on, you actually might perform better purely because of the placebo effect. All right. You know what's funny? This article is by Dean Takahashi.
Yep.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy who got shit on Twitter, on YouTube for playing Cuphead. So maybe we should go back and show the Cuphead clip again.
Well,
maybe
if he was wearing this, he could play Cuphead better.
He could beat the tutorial if he was wearing this. All right, that was the problem. All right, if this is he got really shit on for not being able to beat the tutorial level in Cuphead, which is really funny.
All right,
Quite the story.
This is him.
Afterwards, I'm gonna go. Ooh, oh man, this video it's a little bit old now, but this created a lot of heat for like game journalism. You know, this guy was like, you know, one of the authors on GamesBeat. Though in his defense, GamesBeat is more of like a financial journalism about the video game industry. But like, this guy just gets destroyed. Like my favorite part is him getting stuck in the tutorial.
Yep.
It was cringe. The boy couldn't figure out how to
tutorial's
jump.
back here. Oh yeah, I remember this.
The tutorial is the best part. Like this, he couldn't figure this part out. Like this is like, whew, I die inside when watching this.
Hey, this was a huge thing when it came out.
Yeah, Destroy Wrath. When this first came out, this guy he spent forever getting past this one jump. It was difficult to watch.
Oh, he did it! Yay! But anyway,
it took him a minute 30 to get past the first jump.
I actually don't mind this. Like, whatever. He's like a middle-aged guy. He's not good at creative games. Who cares, right?
Yeah, he needs to wear the bandana.
This I think is worse. Bro. This I think is worse. Look, Hum's headset turns your brain into overdrive for better gaming. Come on, how can you say that? Like, it's obviously a scam. You know. Like,
scroll down to the bottom. Are they paid for this? They'll disclose.
They have to be paid for this.
Scroll down. If maybe they're not. Maybe they want the cover. Let's see. All the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom.
Here.
They have to mention.
The company is about 17 full-time and part-time employees.
Scroll down even further. They usually put at the bottom. Past all their
this is a different article. Once you scroll down, this Lego Movie one.
Oh, you're right.
So it ends here, I think.
They usually disclose if they're like if they're actually paid for it or not.
Anyway, what?
You're right.
It's actually worse if they're not paid for it, because then that means he actually believes it. You know, like if he got paid for it and he says this was a paid product, I can at least like wink at him. You know, like I know what you mean.
Bro.
I got you. You know, like.
Actually, in terms of paid sponsorship, maybe we should mention this before, in the podcast, because the guys that make Grand Chase, right? This game is it's a mobile game coming out, I think today or tomorrow, right? So let me link you the video. Maybe we can talk about just this very briefly.
Oh, you played?
They actually wanted to pay us. Yeah, okay. I played, and they paid us to do something for it, right? So, well, about that full disclosure here at MMOs.com, right? So this is a sequel to the Grand Chase on the PC. Now, unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with the PC version. If you played Grand Chase on the PC, you're kind of expecting, you know, a similar game in the sequel. However, it's a very typical mobile gacha game, but it's got some action gameplay and actually manual aiming ability, so it's a little bit different. But like, it's nothing like the PC version. So they actually reached out to us and wanted to pay us to do a video, right?
Yep.
So I do a video. I send it to them, right? And they replied back to me, you know what? You know, at like 5 minutes in, you said the game wasn't atrocious and it's not terrible. Can you change those words around to saying the game was good? You know, it would change the negativity and, you know, kind of make the video seem better. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, like, you know, the agreement was I'm going to make a video for you guys. I'm not going to change the content of my video to fit this nonsense, you know, like take it or leave it, you know, as is. And they came back to the next day like, all right, fine. You know, just put it up the way it is.
Nice.
All right.
I
am not compromising on my integrity for look, listen, if they pay me $375, right, for the video, right? If they're paying me like $5,000, I'll, you know, $10,000, you know what? I might swallow a bit of my, you know, my scruples, all right, and say that, right? But for $375, they ain't getting shit, all right?
You gotta know your worth, all right? Everyone's got a price, all right?
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real, all right? And honestly, look, I thought it was actually very fair to the game anyway. Typically, when I do these videos for mobile games in any way, I'm trying to look at it from a different angle as well, right? Because obviously, I personally don't like these games, and I've made that very clear throughout my videos and through the podcast, right? But when I look at these games, I try to make it informative because there is a huge audience that likes these games, right? And I criticize a lot of the game, and I praise certain parts that I thought were actually different. I've played a lot of these mobile games actually out of curiosity, and this one is at least a little bit different. There's actually some player input required. It's got autoplay, but there's a lot of these gacha games are turn based, right? So there's very little like thinking required, right? In this game, you have to actually manually move your units and manually aim abilities and dodge skill shots. Like that doesn't happen in most of these games where it's basically a complete autoplay. So there is some level of skill involved, and I like that a lot. And there's actually a lot of different ways to customize each character too. So there were some positives and negatives. So I think I kept it very fair, but I wasn't about to. They were telling me to change my words from saying not atrocious to saying good. These are not the same things. Like I'm not gonna say the game is good for money unless it's like a crazy amount of money. Obviously, I'm thinking about millions of dollars. I'm gonna say this is the best game I've ever played. All right, for $1 million, I'll say this is the best game I've ever played. And I think any sensible person, has a price for that stuff. But like otherwise, we're keeping it real most of the time. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Man, this game's coming out, I think tomorrow or tonight, and I'm personally not too excited to play it, but I'm sure it might do decent. The game's been out in Korea for like over a year. Actually, no, January of 2018. So it came out in Korea already. It's coming out in America soon.
Well, staying on the
World's
mobile,
going for $1 million. Yo, listen. Nobody can blame me. I'm keeping anyone who tells you like any small time YouTuber that says I would never compromise my integrity. Never, no matter what. No, if you give them $1 million, they'll say whatever you want them to say. All right, everyone's got a price. All right, we're keeping it real. All right.
Black Mirror, darkest
If it
timeline.
involves me saying some shitty mobile game is good for $1 million, I'm gonna do it. All right, but it's gotta be a ton of money. If they offer me $1,000, I still wouldn't do it. Okay, after 10K, I might be willing to say I might be willing to let some things go. I wouldn't say it's the best game ever for $10,000, right? But at a certain price, I'll say it's the best game ever. But like it'll be obvious that I'm lying because like I wouldn't be able to hold my laughter in, while saying it. And that's it. Right? MMOs.com is all about keeping it real.
True.
And if we shield, we'll tell you that we shield in the podcast anyway. But yeah, we're keeping it real though.
Well, keeping on the mobile train for a bit, there's a good long article by Jason Schreier here on Kotaku about Diablo Immortal and basically the Diablo team, I guess, at Blizzard. As a few choice quotes that I think are relevant here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. One was all right, so obviously, as we know, they teamed up with NetEase because this game was initially meant for the Chinese audience, Diablo Immortal, right? And there's a great quote here from a source at Blizzard. So 3 Blizzard sources told me that the original plan for Diablo Immortal had been to release it only in China at first, for a few months or maybe a year, in large part to test it out among Chinese fans before releasing in the West. Quote, "The quality bar in the Chinese market, especially for frame rate, is extremely low," said one. "You can release something that'd be considered alpha footage here, and it'd be a finished game there." End quote.
Wow.
How funny is that?
So it tells me very clearly that the bar for quality in China seems to be much, much lower. Interesting. Players are okay with playing the real, like, unfinished Dookers over there.
And, if you look at the top earning games in China, across the platforms, whether it's PC, right? Things like Crossfire, when there's real shooters available, It really...
I don't understand why Crossfire is so popular compared to a game like CSGO, which just seems like infinitely better. I mean, the only advantage I would say Crossfire has is that it's free to play. But I'm pretty sure the game, like you said, is golden bullets, where you can just pay for advantages.
Yes.
But I imagine the tournament scene, they probably turn that stuff off.
I doubt it. I mean, in China, the tournament scene is basically whoever pays wins, right?
I don't know.
But here's what this gives me hope, though. Because, every day here in America, at least, we hear about how China's growing so fast. They got all this stuff going on. They're studying all day. They're doing good on those math tests and stuff.
They are studying all day, though.
But listen, this gives me hope. Because there's no way America will lose to a people who think this is a good game, right? Crossfire or like Diablo Immortal or these NetEase games. Mm-hmm. The people who like these games, they cannot defeat people who actually play real games, all right? Even in real combat, they'll lose, all right? So until they start playing real games, we here in the West can rest comfortably knowing we're still going to be on top.
Interesting perspective there.
That is the take I have on for you guys today.
Interesting. We'll see how this game does. Again, I read an article earlier today saying that they simply didn't Blizzard simply didn't think they'd get this much lashback for it. I think you mentioned earlier too to me that Blizzard was actually disappointed. The executives at Activision Blizzard were disappointed by the performance of Diablo 3, right?
They were. If you guys read the article, it's a good article. Basically, Diablo 3's second expansion got axed. A lot of the team got let go. And they kind of been in the wind for a while. But there is a Diablo 4 currently under development.
Mhm.
And it kind of indicates one of the main gripes I had with Diablo 3 when it came out. Diablo 4 is they want to go back to the old, like, gothic, dark theme of Diablo 2. And they admitted basically that the more cartoony look of Diablo 3 didn't work out. It did not fit their criteria. It wasn't good. Which is what I said as soon as I saw that game. Diablo 3 looks like Disney game. Doesn't look like Diablo 2. It doesn't look like Path of Exile. And I hope they go back to that kind of mature, dark theme.
But here's the problem, Alta. You know that's not going to happen, all right? You mentioned earlier too that you mentioned to me earlier, and anyone following the Blizzard should realize that Blizzard is working on a Pokemon Go style Warcraft game, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I should
That
say
seems you can obviously it doesn't have to be super bubbly and light, but like that's a very casual game concept, right?
yes, they're working on a mobile Warcraft game inspired by Pokemon Go, which will also include single player content of some type.
Now, there's no way that game is not going to be like lighthearted or like not like it's not going to be super dark, all right? Because the dark themed games aren't going to have the mainstream appeal. Like Blizzard's audience now has to be everybody. Blizzard can't. They're not the same like niche company they used to be during the days of StarCraft, Warcraft 2 and stuff, and Diablo 2, right? They're trying to appeal to the masses.
I mean, I disagree though. I think certain of their franchises can pull off the cartoony look, like Warcraft with World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. But why not have different verticals for different audiences? So why can't Diablo be the mature gothic horror genre game?
Because the mature gothic horror market isn't big enough to warrant Blizzard to spend any time on it, I think. Yeah, there's a market there for Path of Exile. Yeah, there's a market there for smaller studios. It just seems like because of how big Blizzard's gotten, we're not going to get the same kind of games that we got from them in the past. And Grizzly made a good point. At least Diablo 3 looks grittier than Torchlight 2. I mean, Torchlight 2 looks very, very, colorful and like cartoony. I mean, they never even tried to be like gritty.
I should back up for a minute and just establish the fact that there's no problem with cartoony, bubbly games. The issue is taking an existing concept, right? Diablo was not a bubbly, cartoony game, and they made it into one. That was the issue I have.
Mm-hmm.
So Overwatch, for example, I think it looks beautiful, right? I hope I actually said this somewhere years ago when Overwatch came out. I hope to make a TV show or movie with Overwatch, like an animated series like Pixar, because I think that'd be great. It'd be great. I just don't think they should take Diablo and turn it into that when they have an audience, right? Maybe it's a smaller audience, whatever. Yeah. But it's also a wealthier audience. Adults have more money, so they should just, for example, Disney, right? Disney has studios that make cartoons, and they have studios that make more adult content, not adult like porn.
What does Disney make that's adult?
Like
all the superhero movies are made for kids.
No, Logan is not made for kids. I think it was rated M.
Yeah. Logan is one of the few that's made for. Yeah,
well, sure, but that doesn't mean you don't make it though, right? They can make more cartoony stuff, but they should keep their existing dark horror theme as a dark horror theme.
Logan was made by Fox, not Disney.
Deadpool, whatever. I don't.
Was that also Fox? I don't know. Might be. That's probably not. I mean, obviously, there's still Marvel characters.
Disney has a lot of studios besides their cartoon studios. I'm sure Disney is behind a lot of M-rated movies.
I don't know about that. I think 99% of this stuff is made for kids.
I mean, Marvel. Everything. I'm sure there's comics in Marvel.
Characters out to Fox and stuff too, and Sony, of course, has a franchise, a license for Spider-Man as well. So Marvel, the characters themselves can be mature. But it seems like almost everything what Disney makes is definitely aimed at kids, and that's why I think it's very unlikely for Blizzard to go back to the roots of having this hardcore experience. Like Blizzard, I think could make an amazing, traditional MMORPG or a traditional hardcore game like Diablo or Warcraft, but it's just not going to happen because it just seems like that market's gone too small.
Well, look, I think there's enough money to be made in each of these subcategories. You don't have to just because I agree with you. The biggest potential revenue source is the style that aims at everyone, right? The cartoony look. Yeah. So, but if they just put all their eggs in that basket, they're letting go of a lot of money, I think.
But and even as is, you said Activision Blizzard was not pleased with the revenue that Diablo 3 generated, despite being one of the best-selling games of all time. It wasn't as big of a financial success as Blizzard expected or Activision Blizzard expected because there weren't enough microtransactions, there wasn't enough recurring revenue, and it just wasn't it wasn't worth their effort. I mean, they came out and said they weren't making a lot of money.
Blizzard was happy with it. The problem was if you guys should read the article. Basically, Activision is bullshitting their way into Blizzard, and I think that's why the founder of Blizzard recently resigned, because he doesn't want to. He kind of saw the wind swaying, and he knows where this is going. So they're being penny pinched now. There's a new CFO. The article talks about it. This like this I don't know, this random CFO is in there. She's counting pennies, pissing everyone off. Wrong direction.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it seems like Activision is probably the smallest of the three divisions within.
But they're the head
Probably
one.
the least I would say they're the least valuable of the three divisions: King, Blizzard, and Activision.
Canaris, I personally would love to see a StarCraft MMORPG. World
sci-fi
universe of StarCraft. I don't know what you call it.
All right, I want to talk about an interesting post I read on Games Industry. I'm pretty sure you saw it earlier too, Altai, about loot boxes. Our favorite free-to-play controversy point over here. The UK Gambling Commission said there's no link between loot boxes and exposure to gambling. Now, this definitely seems a bit odd because it seems like this defies common sense. The article even mentions that in the UK, for example, the number of problem gamblers amongst children has quadrupled in the last 2 years. And obviously, what's changed in the last 2 years? I would say one of the biggest changes was loot boxes and just how much bigger they've gotten and how much bigger role they play in video games. But they couldn't find the direct link between the rise of problem gamblers amongst children and loot boxes.
Well, honestly, I think it's still early days. And one interesting article I read about this, which I think is going to start causing issues, is this one right here. So gifting is coming to Fortnite this patch. Here's how it works. So basically, you're going to be able to buy things in Fortnite, like skins, to people on your friends list in Fortnite. And I can imagine this being really abused by kids. And imagine like you're in 3rd grade and, you gamble with some dice with kids in your grade. And you, instead of paying cash, because you guys don't have cash, you're going to be buying each other skins in Fortnite.
Ooh, you're right.
Like I remember in I think definitely in high school, but probably before, my friends and I, we'd play something called Dice Game. I think it was 2 or 3 dice. Do you remember, Omer? We used to roll it, and then if they matched or something, there was some real...
You would pay each other the difference in dollars.
Exactly. Yeah, we would gamble in school like that all the time.
I mean, if you think of it this way, too, I mean, gambling amongst kids has always been a thing, too. I mean, do you remember Crazy Bones? There were these little plastic miniatures you get, almost like trading cards, but they're miniatures that come inside these like booster packs or plastic. And you just line them up and you flick them at each other, right? And there's rare ones, there's like common ones.
Top Hat.
And if you had like Top Hat was like the big dick one, all right? It was like the rarest one. I had a fucking Top Hat, all right? But anyway, I was playing against this kid who also had a Top Hat, and you line up your figurines, your Crazy Bones, and you flick them at each other. I remember in grade school, I played against this kid, and we were playing for keepsies, obviously. That's a big dick. That's basically like full loop PvP mode IRL, all right? So if you knock the guy's Crazy Bone down, you get to keep it. If he knocks yours down, he keeps his too. So he played with his rare piece because he's a retard. Because people thought the rare pieces they flick better, they have better accuracy, right? But they're just lumps of plastic, so it doesn't really matter whether you have a rare one or an easy one, right? They're the same shit, they just flick. So I won. I took his Crazy Bone. I took his Top Hat, and he cried to the teacher. I had to give his shit back. I felt like I got cheated because I know if I lost, I would let him keep my shit. I wasn't gonna cry about it, but this motherfucker, he cried, went to the teacher, and I lost. I didn't get to keep my winnings.
You get to keep it? Oh man.
No, because he cried.
That's funny.
If I lost, I would have handed my shit over with a heartbeat. I ain't no bitch. But this kid bitched out. I didn't get to keep my Crazy Bones.
I'm showing you guys a video of what these things look like. We're kind of aging ourselves here. So if anyone here,
nobody else knows these probably.
If anyone else knows what these are, please say something in chat so we don't feel too old. I never heard of them. Oh my god, we're so old.
Like this was like a form of gambling when you were younger. We did this in grade school. But like you said, with gifting in Fortnite, people are going to gamble in school over whatever they're going to gamble over, and then they're going to settle their bets with Fortnite gifts. Because you can't ask your mom for cash. Like, hey mom, I lost a bet to Jimmy at school. I need to give him $10 cash. It's not going to work. But like, mom, I want to buy something in Fortnite. All right, whatever, son. Here you go. That's going to happen. So they'll be able to settle their bets by gifting in Fortnite. Because Fortnite skins are as good as cash, or V-Bucks are as good as cash to kids anyway.
Yeah, so I think I see a lot of gambling coming down the pipeline, and I think if anything, the UK was a little early. So this is the gifting article, like I said, and I got another big article right here. So while the UK may have just ruled that it's not gambling, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission has just launched an investigation.
Nothing's gonna happen. All right, if the UK came to the same conclusion that the EA ignored the Belgian courts, this ain't going anywhere. All right, this seems like so established already. I would be bamboozled.
Whether it's established or not is not the point. That's not going to be what they're looking for.
Again, this would be such a change of the status quo if they actually regulated these, and I don't think it's gonna happen. There's no way.
I don't know.
There's so much worse going on than loot boxes. Like kids spending $500 on Game of War, or like waifu collectors on their mobile games on their parents' phones. That seems like a bigger problem.
Well, it's in the same
than that
category,
game.
isn't it? The waifu, because they're random.
Sure, but like,
Yeah.
but the kids spending money on their parents' account seems like a bigger deal than like people voluntarily buying
those are
these gift boxes.
but they're combined because the reason the kids are doing it is because they're addicted. Like they need that hit of like that shiny box opening.
The shiny box opening, it is actually pretty remarkable. If you play any of these gacha games on mobile, especially, the animation they put for like opening the box, right, is always like very colorful and interesting. I know, like in that Grand Chase game, like it would like shake and it would open, like, and like confetti would fly out, and you can see the piece like come up, like the hero you unlock come up. Like every game's got these really colorful scenes, like unboxing the loot boxes that like it's done in a purposeful way. You know, they find the most effective like types of colors to use, the amount of flash to use to get like the right response from the player. So it's pretty crazy.
Okay, but I'm not as sure as you that something won't come out of this eventually.
Nothing's gonna come out of it. I'm calling it. Remo's calling it right now. All these investigations, nothing's gonna happen. Loot boxes will keep happening. People will keep bitching about it, and nothing's gonna change.
All right. Well, okay. So I'm pretty harsh on mobile games, but I'm not against them in principle. Right? They can be done well. Like Clash Royale, I still defend as a good game. There is a new game coming out by Supercell, and they don't really put out too many new games. So I'm actually excited when this one comes out. It's called Brawl Stars. Have you guys heard of this?
Nope.
It's a 3-on-3, some kind of, just 3-on-3 real time shooting game of some sort. So it kind of looks like a mini. It kind of looks like we played like games like this on like StarCraft custom games and stuff. You basically walk around and you got to kill the other team.
This is a battle royale game. Do you find like upgrades or something?
I think there's like items scattered around the map, but it's a 3-on-3, quick, short matches, and it could be fun.
Interesting. But you know they're gonna have pay to win elements too. Like every Clash Royale was pay to win, as was Clash of Clans, as was every game by Supercell. But to their credit, to Supercell's credit, they try to make games that are a little bit different. Clash Royale was radically different than any other mobile game at the time, and since we've seen tons of clones, so maybe this will be a little different too.
And yeah, no, this game is not new, guys. But what I meant to say is the global launch is coming soon. I think it's been available in a few countries, like Canada, for example, had this game for like a year, I think. But it's coming to the world now.
So Altai, also slightly mobile related, but this is a typical Korean free-to-play game. I put the article on MMOs.com homepage. Busty Mobile CCG Destiny Child is launching in December. So I remember when I first did this video, we mentioned it in the podcast like over a year ago. Like this game is like unusually busty. Like there are just a lot of bouncy boob scenes in this game. Like they actually censored it quite a bit for the American release.
I'm
the
not
American
surprised.
version has a lot less boobs, a lot less cleavage than the version that's in South Korea, and I don't approve.
But look, I just paused it on your first look, and I'm sure this is the Korean version, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, look at the scene. Like, what is going on here? Like,
let me take a look. This is great. This is a good scene. Hit resume. Let's see some boob jiggles. All right.
Oh my god. But here's the problem, though. In I guess in Asia, cartoon alone is not enough to signify if it's for kids or adults, right? Because in Asia you have adult cartoons, and you have children's cartoons. But in America, I feel like a lot of parents are still not used to the concept of adult cartoons. So when they see a cartoon game or show, they assume it's for kids. So I think a lot of young kids are going to be playing this in America. So that's why they had to censor it.
Oh, they're doing it for the kids. Gotta protect the kids from the boobs. Go to 345, by the way, and resume it over there. I love the boob physics in this game. They really went all out on the boobs. All right, this is where the budget went, boys. 3-4. There you go. Look at this. Ooh,
oh my goodness.
Oh baby, look at those boobs go. How this is quality. Look at this. This is quality mobile gaming. All right, my eyes are principally fixed on those bouncing boobs. You're not going to see this in English. Why would you ever play the English version when they take this beautiful thing away? All right, if they take this away, there's no point. All right, this is the game. Next gen, best game ever. Unzips. Yo, me too, Saffron. Woo. Breathing looks so orgasmic to them. Yeah, they're like, it's actually pretty remarkable just how like this is actually one of the most sexualized Korean games I've played. Like if it was Japanese, I feel like I've seen a lot of hentai. So like Japan can go pretty extreme, but like this is probably the most sexualized Korean game I've seen. And if you couldn't tell already, this game's art director is the same guy who did the art for Blade and Soul. So like the same oily, busty boobiness exists in both games.
Interesting.
But
You know,
I
it's
do,
very
but
odd.
hmm.
Like Korea makes this, right? But
Yeah.
porn, like straight regular human porn, is illegal in Korea, which is
But
odd.
that's why, they had to take out their, they got to put it in cartoon form because they can't express themselves through porn.
There you go.
But what's crazy is I didn't even realize it was censored, right? Because I looked at the official video. We showed the official video. It still looks a little bit like there's still some big boobs and stuff. But all the comments are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they censored this. Like, I'm not playing this. I'm playing the Korean version." Like, there's still some scenes in this one where you can still see some big boob action, but obviously nowhere near as much as the other one.
It looks pretty big to me still. Like here, if we go
Ooh,
back
there you
here.
go. I think it's more covered though.
Uh, I mean, I guess, but look, if you look at the background here,
Ooh,
it's pretty.
boob. That the game is called Boob and Soul. I do refer to Blade and Soul, unironically, as Boob and Soul.
I don't think
There's
it's
some
that. I
lollipop
don't know.
here,
Who
too.
knows? Who knows? It doesn't. I think that people who are playing it for that reason will still have plenty to look forward to.
But yeah, it's coming out in December, so we're getting a lot of mobile games. Holy shit, mobile games left and right, boys. Basically, any mobile game that comes out in Korea, if it does even remotely well, it'll come to in English as well. I think localizing these mobile games is probably a lot cheaper than localizing the PC games. 'Cause I think a lot more of these mobile games are making their way out of Korea and Japan and China to America than the other way around. Because like we never really had that many Chinese games come to America, like Chinese MMORPGs. Yes, Perfect World tried to bring their games here. Changyu tried with Dragon Oath and Jade Dynasty and stuff. Those games have tried to come here. Revelation Line came here, but we've already seen so many more Chinese mobile games come here. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of Chinese mobile games that already launched in America. So it must be easier to localize these games. Maybe because there's less gameplay. I don't know. Oh,
Oh,
probably.
that's great. I used to shit on mobile games, but after playing Fake Grand Order for a while, I've realized I've spent 200 plus. They make it so easy to spend. Sad face.
Quadon's Dream Tree. Fake Grand Order is making over $1 billion a year. It's one of the most successful mobile games ever. In fact, I think we just saw worldwide games market for October of 2018. Super Data published their report, and good old Fake Grand Order is, I think, number 2 or 3 is number 6 on the list of highest grossing mobile games for the month. They make over $1 billion a year. And I actually found a pretty astonishing fact recently that if you look at sales for Final Fantasy 15, right? The actual console version of the game, I see an article that they sold 8.1 million copies. Now, obviously, all 8.1 million copies were not sold at $60, and obviously, the $60 price tag includes the retail margin of like 10-15%. So if we look at if we assume Square Enix made $45 per unit sold, which actually might be on the high end because you can find new copies of Final Fantasy 15 at GameStop today for $20, right? So the price went down a lot already. If you multiply that by 8.1, it's about $360 million, right? If you look at the sales of Final Fantasy 15 A New Empire, the mobile strategy pay-to-win garbage game, that game's made over $360 million in the last 13 months. It's been out less, and it's made more money than the PS4, and that includes PS4, Steam, all that jazz. So the spin-off garbage strategy game made more money. And when I mentioned it to my friend jokingly told me, like, oh, they probably just made Final Fantasy 15 so they can make their main game, the mobile game. So these weird spin-off games are making more money than the mainline franchise, which we live in truly interesting times. And I think Nico Plus's comment in the Twitch chat really captures all of this. I hate this world. Like, it's insane that the spin-off game that's a purely cash grab, pay-to-win strategy game made more revenue than the mainline series that took over 10 years to develop and obviously way more money to make. It's nuts.
It is nuts.
It really hurts my soul again, just how much I didn't think it'd be anywhere near that successful, but we mentioned the previous podcast that Fake Grand Order has already made over $2 billion, like $2.5 billion. That's more money than every single Metal Gear Solid game ever since the 1980, whenever the first one came out. If you add up every game in the Metal Gear Solid series, including the spin-offs, all their sales, Fake Grand Order in the last like 3 years has made more money than everything in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, the Metal Gear franchise.
Well,
Which is insane.
Konami has shifted heavily to mobile. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Metal Gear, the Empire building experience, like Foxconn Empires, whatever the name of their organization is in that world. I forgot.
Altai, you remind me of another good story I saw on VentureBeat earlier today. There's a new mobile game coming out, Altai, called Warhammer Chaos and Conquest. Games
About
Workshop
time.
announced that it has partnered with studio Tilting Point and Hunted Cow for Warhammer Chaos and Conquest, a new mobile game based on the Fantasy franchise. And as you already guessed, everyone in the chat, it is literally going to be a Game of War style game where you build these empires, you with pay to win element. It's gonna be just like Game of War, Final Fantasy 15 New Empire, Clash of Clans, like that style game. It's gonna be the same nonsense. We've already seen like every IP throwing themselves this garbage. We've seen Game of Thrones do it as well with Game of Thrones Conquest. So it's just sad that so many games are going down this garbage dumpster fire of a path. And we could easily see this with how long until we see a Metal Gear version of this?
Not long. Konami is going super into mobile. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen a Warcraft version, because Warcraft is
that's coming next. That's coming next. It has
Warcraft, empires at war, and you can play as like the night elves, the orcs, the humans, undead.
Oh my god, they're going to make so much money.
Yeah,
they would if they did that. If they just copied, look, Final Fantasy 15, which I think is Final Fantasy is a much weaker franchise, I would say, than Warcraft or World of Warcraft, right? I think World of Warcraft is a much more impactful franchise. I mean, they're both huge franchises,
especially Final Fantasy 15. It's like just that one world, you know.
Exactly, and that was able to make over $370 million off this mobile garbage. And Warcraft actually lends itself more to this like PvP factions, right? Where you can have Night Elf, you get the Horde versus Alliance, the different races in the game fighting against each other. It makes more sense from a story perspective to be able to make a strategy game like that. But it's gonna be, oh my god, it hurts because I know they're gonna make so much money doing it. Like it seems like such a terrible game, but they're gonna make so much money doing it that it's inevitable.
League of Legends Empire. I got a better name for you, okay? League of Legends Runeterra Empires, or something like that. Runeterra at War. And you just play as the different factions. You build up barracks. It takes 2 days, but if you click and buy some gems, instant, baby. Let's go. You train some ashes. Instead of archers, you train ashes. Okay?
I like it.
Instead of foot soldiers, you train the spin to win Garens.
Yeah, Garen. He's to do with the sword. You make Garens.
That'd be so funny. It's like, yo, dude, these guys attacking me with 2,000 Garens. Help me out, bro.
Witcher 3, War of Empires. Honestly, it could easily happen too. And it's absolutely nuts how much money these games are making. All right, I want to talk about a bit of a controversy this week. I'm curious where you stand on this one, Altai. It's also Fortnite related, but not so much about Fortnite the game, but Fortnite the dance moves. What do you think about this, Altai?
Let me see this.
So this guy wrote an article on GameIndustry.biz, when does homage become a ripoff? Legal or not, Epic Games' uncompensated copying of other creators' dances in Fortnite has called the company's morality into question. So what's happening is a bunch of performers, dancers, and actors are upset that Fortnite has these signature dance moves in the game. Like there's that, obviously we all know the default dance from Fortnite came from Turk from Scrubs, right? That one dance move.
Oh yeah.
So basically he's saying this is like some immoral activity by Epic Games. How do you feel about this?
Well, I read about this, and apparently in America you cannot, claim ownership of any kind of dance format, right?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think I don't have a problem with this. If anything, it's kind of helping them. It's kind of like, I watched Scrubs. I loved it when it was new, like
same.
But I kind of forgot about it, right? In fact,
the dance move didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, when I played Fortnite and I saw that dance, I didn't recognize it was that dance, right? But now after this controversy, I'm like, oh yeah, that character in that show, and yeah, I used to love that show. So I think if anything, it's bringing it back.
Yeah, I think it's really just giving, honestly, it's giving additional exposure to the dancers and stuff that do this stuff, right? And like, as is according to U.S. law, copyright, there is no copyright for dance moves. You can copyright apparently something called choreography, which would be like an entire skit, like an entire performance, would be copyrightable, but not individual dance moves. And everything within Fortnite is individual dance moves. So as is, the law does not support the people upset about this. But it seems really, weird that they would even care. I mean, if anything, I think it gives them additional exposure. And what's really, really annoying is that when I read this article, I think the part that really nagged me was the author of this post tried to compare it to like freelance artists and freelance like designers that like don't get their work appreciated. Like when a freelance artist charges like $100, like $500 for like a design, like the employer might get mad. That's too much money or something, right? Because like they don't appreciate the work of the freelance artist and the designer. But that seems like completely disconnected from trying to copyright dance moves. Like I obviously, freelance artists can charge where they want, and good for them.
It should also be noted
try to draw a parallel there
that this is nothing new. If you guys recall, I'm going to play the track without saying anything and see if you guys notice what is this from.
Okay.
Yep, you guys got it. Yeah, so the Draenei from World of Warcraft, their slash dance is literally the Tunak guy. So come on, this is nothing new, you know. So these guys should.
Well, the argument is that Blizzard at no point tried to monetize this the way for Epic Games is apparently making millions of dollars selling these dance moves to players, whereas Blizzard always made it available for free. That was like the difference.
That was Blizzard's mistake back then because they probably didn't think they could get away with it. See, if Blizzard knew back then that people like you were willing to pay for emotes, you can bet they'd be in there. But no, see, here's the thing: the people at Blizzard were like, "We gotta make. All right, how do we make money? We gotta make a really good game. Yeah, that's probably the best way to make money. Yeah, you're right. So they worked on that.
They were wrong. They were wrong. That's not what you need to do.
Yeah, if only they knew they could make their stupid Draenei do all these different dances and people paying $5 each time, oh, they would have done it. Trust me.
Does World of Warcraft have like a cash shop where you can buy emotes or no?
You can buy mounts.
I know you can buy mounts.
Here, real talk. I never once clicked into the store when I played.
Really?
So I just don't know, but I don't think you can buy emotes. But that's how little interest I have.
I like them. I like them a lot. I'm not going to pay for them personally because I'm kind of cheap. But like, I actually, that's like something I would consider paying for if they're the right price. And I think Final Fantasy 14 actually has really cheap emotes. Like you can buy stuff in the cash app for like $1 or $2, right? They're actually microtransactions, unlike like $30 skins in League of Legends or like Blade and Soul where a single outfit costs like $40 or $20. They're actually relatively cheap in Final Fantasy 4. I never bought them, but like, I've thought about it.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised they don't sell that too.
You're right though. You're right. That's a pretty good distinction though. WoW did not monetize it, but in my opinion, it's only because back then, probably they never thought they could monetize it.
Their mistake.
Their mistake. Yeah, in hindsight, it's their mistake.
Also, I don't even see like there was another video came up by Jim Sterling about microtransactions, and every time I read the comments on Reddit about people complaining about microtransactions, people shitting on Overwatch, it still bothers me because who cares if they're monetizing some bullshit emotes? Like in Fortnite, too, who cares if they're selling skins? Like they're not selling any power. Like you play Fortnite for free, you're not like losing out on anything. Yeah, you can't pick your character, you can't like do some special dance moves or anything. Who cares? They're not selling you power. They're not ruining the game. They're not affecting the gameplay balance at all. Like it seems like the people that deserve the least hate on these microtransaction things seems to be Overwatch and Fortnite and games like that. Like League of Legends arguably deserved a lot of hate back when rune pages were very important. No, and obviously you don't actually call heroes either. Like stuff like that is a reasonable complaint. But games like Dota, CS:GO are honestly like, who cares? It's cosmetics for some bullshit. It's such a non-issue.
All right. Side tangent here for a minute. I know a way for Riot Games to put League back on top, at least in revenue. How do you do it? You sell a $30 League Premium pack. Well, here's what it includes: level 30 account, okay, all the heroes unlocked. Maybe you charge $60, okay. So people and then you massively up how quickly you ban people for being toxic. Now here's the beauty of it: all those people who are toxic are gonna want to play, and if they see that for $60, they can buy a new level 30 account with all the characters. They'll buy it, and then all the revenue will go back up. Boom, 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 baby.
So you're gonna sell accounts to people that got banned for being toxic, and then you're gonna keep banning them or something?
Yeah. So you sell an account that starts at level 30 with all the characters unlocked for like $50.
That's too good of a deal, though. I mean, they would lose out on a lot of money because those guys would buy all those characters anyway.
Fine, you give them like half the characters, whatever. Like,
I got an idea for League. You know what League's got to do? $10 a month, $15 a month premium subscription for League of Legends. League of Legends VIP. It includes it automatically unlocks all characters, and one skin for every character for free.
Ooh,
think about it. That could be genius. People would pay for it for sure. A lot of people I think would pay for it.
Well, maybe you forgot this already, Mark, but WoW, Dota actually has a premium subscription now. I think it's like $5 a month, and
for Dota Plus.
So many people I know, right, that play Dota, they're paying for it. It's if you just queue a random game of Dota, even normal, not even ranked, multiple people in your game will be Dota Plus subscribers. Isn't that crazy?
You don't even get skins for that, right? That's basically
nothing.
You tools to measure, like you can see additional stats like who did how much damage on every team, and AI would tell you like what items to buy, when to buy, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I actually trolled someone.
It seems like better. Imagine $50 a month for League of Legends to get access to all the characters and maybe like 2 skins for every character. Honestly, they can make all skins too if you want. Like, why not, right? $50 a month is good money. A lot of people don't spend that kind of money anyway. So like, if they get $50 a month for it, I think League of Legends can make mad bank. And honestly, that would also get a lot of people off the hate train for League of Legends, right? Because I think there is a valid reason to not like the business model of League of Legends, because it is a pay for advantage system where, if you don't have access to all the heroes, you are playing a disadvantage. But if you offer that in a subscription that gives you everything, it seems like the default version is almost like a free trial, where that's fine. There are free trials for World of Warcraft today where you just literally can't get beyond level 40 or level like whatever in Final Fantasy 14 is a similar free trial, right? So the free to play version can be seen as a trial, and the premium subscription version can be seen as the base game. And if $50 a month, that's it. You can access everything. I think it'd be a really good model for them.
I think some kind of premium subscription, they do need one. Dota showed that it worked. They can charge more and offer more. That's fine. To get back to Jim Sterling for a minute, I think the reason he's so harsh on these microtransactions is because I think he's primarily, right, not exclusively, primarily a console gamer. And I think this year, just 2018, it hasn't been too memorable for us MMO gamers, right? But for console, focused gamers, I think 2018 will go down in history books as a very important year. Digital sales are now, I believe, the majority of sales on console. We have not all, but a huge number of free-to-play and previously like PC games on consoles now. Whether Path of Exile, Fortnite, all these MMORPGs, like they're Terra and stuff. They're all going to console now, and so you have people that are used to, for let's say the past 25, 30 years, going to the store, buying a $50 or $60 disc and just playing their game. In just 1 year, what took us PC gamers like 20 years to get used to, they're kind of getting that in 1 year. They went from, just buy the game, put it in, play, to, download, patches, DLCs, micro loot boxes, random this, random that, cosmetics. So to them, it's like, whoa, where is this all coming from? But we're just used to it. So it's not as, so we're like, what's the big deal, because we're used to it, but they're not used to it.
Well, I think that's a good point. I mean, while console games have long had like season passes and DLCs, it was not quite the level of like in your face, down your throat, the way all these Korean free-to-play games have been, right?
Yeah.
So, all these games came to console relatively recently. I mean, a lot of these Revelation Online's on there, Skyforge is on there, Terra's on there, BDO is coming on there real soon. They did it open beta like earlier this month, actually. I think full release is coming real soon.
Warface,
like,
all these free shooters, yeah.
Yeah, like all these games coming on there all at once. So it is definitely new exposure for them. But it still seems like, to me, it's like the most innocuous, like, thing. The game is free anyway. Just don't play if you don't like it. It just seems like everybody just wants to have their cake and eat it too. Like, I can see honestly, for a free-to-play game, especially, I think Jim Sterling makes a good point that, like, a free-to-play game, he gives that a pass, right, if it's a free-to-play game. But he doesn't give Overwatch a pass because you have to pay $20 for it or whatever the game costs. So he's rightfully a little more harsh on buy-to-play games because he realizes that free-to-play games, you just don't have, you can just not play it. But even as a buy-to-play game, $20 game is pretty cheap. And the price inflation for games have not kept up with like the crazy budget these games have had too. So games should be more expensive too. But I just like that games don't give you advantages on the PC the way they do on mobile. No amount of buying skins.
That's coming next. Don't worry.
It could easily. It's already there in China. I think we should count our blessings here in the West that some player outrage has kept game companies in check on what they're allowed to get away with on the PC. I mean, I did videos for a bunch of meme Chinese MOBAs. There's one MOBA, what was it called? I have it on Steam. Something Heroes Evolved is a game that's on Steam. Maybe show a video for that. We talk about League and Dota, and people complain about leagues. You have to pay for all the skins, but there's a game called Heroes Evolved. It's on mobile as well, and this game is on PC on Steam as well. It's also much more popular in China than it is in America. But it's a traditional MOBA. It looks like a mix of League and Dota actually. But this game really takes the microtransactions to the next level. Not only do they charge for heroes the way any other like League does, but you can literally, when you die in the game, if you pay money, you can instantly revive. You can pay money for instant revive. Like in Dota 2, you can do that, but with in-game currency. Like it costs a lot of gold in Dota 2 to buy back. In Heroes Evolved, it takes a credit card.
but Heroes Evolved, this isn't some small game with like 100 players, right? Tell us how big this game is.
This game is big in China. The numbers in America are not big. Numbers in America.
I'm in America. It's huge in China.
Yeah, this game is much bigger in China. 300 Heroes also is like certain heroes you can only buy with Catchup. That game's got some. Obviously, the most broken heroes are only available with cash. You just can't buy them in game normally. And I know the numbers for 300 Heroes. I don't know the numbers for Heroes Evolved off the top of my head, but 300 Heroes has like 30 servers, and I played just earlier this week. And one of the servers I played on had 25,000 concurrent users on. And there's 30 servers. There are hundreds of thousands of players playing these Dooker games in China where they just outright pay to win. We mentioned that Crossfire, the most successful FPS game in the world, bigger than Counter-Strike, has like golden bullets and pay to win gear in that game. You literally pay for overpowered guns in that game. And imagine just playing Heroes Evolved a MOBA where I remember I was playing with my buddy Chicken, and like you could actually pay money for like for a mobile store. So if you're in lane right now, right, you're in lane and mid lane, you're battling your opponent, right, and like you have to go back to shop. He's got to go back to shop, and all of a sudden he opens up a store, like a little bird flies next to him, and he can just shop in lane. If he pays like $2, he can just do that. It's a one-time use. $2, you can shop in lane. Otherwise, he has to save time. He has to go back to base to shop. He shops in lane, and you're playing a big disadvantage now. You have to either go back or you also have to pay $2. It's actually hilarious, just the amount of pay-to-win stuff that Chinese games get away with. So in a way, I think it's good that players are pushed back against this stuff. But my only concern is I don't want players to push back against honest microtransactions. I consider honest microtransactions anything that gives you non-gameplay altering stuff, whether it's skins, dances, cosmetics, all that jazz. If it doesn't alter the gameplay, I don't want to hear any complaints about it. I don't care that Overwatch sells me skins. I don't care if a game is a $100 loot box where you can get special mounts that just look pretty. Like, I want to push back against the bullshit that Heroes Evolve tries to do and these Chinese games try to do. I don't want to push back against skins.
I think to take the other side for a minute, I think they see the skins and cosmetics that you mentioned as the forward landing. Then they see that this is coming next. This is behind the, this is the next landing. After the beachhead is secure, Chaos Shield, thank you for that sub.
17 months in a row. Thanks, fam.
People need to push back against the writing in Final Fantasy 14. I agree.
I don't know. I don't think it's fair. If anything, all that pushback is going to lead developers more into mobile, if anything. In mobile games, everyone's already kind of agreed that pay to win is a free for all there. Anything goes there. But it just, I don't know. I was playing through the Heroes. I was playing this Heroes Evolved game, I think like 8 months ago. And every time like somebody bought back, it felt good. Because like when I killed somebody and they spent money to buy back, it was really satisfying to me. And like, like Dota has like glyph of fortifications where you can like make your buildings invulnerable. That only exists in Heroes Evolved if you pay money. It's like 50 cents per glyph. There's no way to get it for free. You have to pay for every glyph, which is
That's
pretty
hilarious. Funny. Is there a cooldown though, or can you just?
There is a cooldown. There is a cooldown.
It'd be so funny.
However, listen. It's a pretty big cooldown. So like you can't completely pay to win the victory, right? I think there's like 5-minute cooldown on buybacks if you pay money for them, right? 5 or 10 minutes. I forget what the number was. However, if you're like VIP level 6, the cooldown on buying back decreases, so you can pay money quicker again. So if you spend more money, you can buy back even quicker. That cooldown decreases depending on how much money you spent in the game. But at no point can you instantly buy back every time. But it's still just hilarious that the only way to buy back in this game is to pay real life money.
It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it.
We live in it's truly remarkable just how pay to win some of these Chinese PC games are. 300 Heroes as well has all these heroes that are only available for in-game money, for real life money. But you can't get them with in-game currency and farming. They're special heroes that are cash up only. And some of them just cost a lot of money too, and obviously they're more powerful than others. I mean, that game's got no sense of balance. I mean, I played 300 Heroes earlier this week. I love playing shitty Chinese games. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy them because they're hilarious. But the balance does not exist in those games. And they don't even try to because they realize, they don't mind paying to win in those games.
You know what's funny? So I hear this a lot too, that people say PC gaming is expensive, right? Any gamer who says PC gaming is expensive is not good at math, right? Because every other form is more expensive. Like a console is what, $200, right? Okay, whatever. But each game is then $50, $60, right?
Yeah.
Where on PC you can get a humble bundle, $1 for like 10 games every week. Like the math.
There's also shit-free games on there's cheap games on console. Until you go to GameStop, you find like the dumpster bin for like 5 games for $5. They have that too.
You get good games really cheap, really quick on PC. Like the price drops on PC are insane.
That's true, and there's way more free-to-play games on PC than there is on consoles.
Yeah, and you just pirate whatever you want on PC anyway.
Technically, everything's on sale on Pirate Bay, all right?
Exactly.
Where you can go to back up your favorite games because we only do backups on Pirate Bay, right? Nobody does illegal piracy, just backups. But I think PC gaming is really cheap too. I mean, I don't know, compared to like every other form of entertainment too, like going to the movies. Like going to the movies once, even if you don't buy any popcorn, you're paying like $12 for the ticket just for like an hour of entertainment. Whereas even if you buy like a $20 game, $30, even a full budget game, I mean, relatively speaking, I think it's not bad.
All right.
I think I subscribe to Humble Bundle monthly. I get so many games for like nothing. I don't even play half those games, but I do feel like it's quite the deal. So I keep it.
All right. I want to wash our mouth for a minute here with a PC game before we go back.
All right. Oh, this was a PC game, but all right. This is on mobile too, though.
That's true. It is on mobile though. Okay, we got Dragon Hound. This is a game, one of the few games by Nexon announced at G-Star that's coming for PC, not mobile. It's by DevCat, the guys behind Mabinogi and Vindictus. also known as Mabinogi Heroes, and I think it looks pretty good. It takes its inspiration from Monster Hunter, but the lead dev said besides Monster Hunter, he was inspired by World of Tanks. Now, I can't really wrap my mind around that. How is a game inspired by both World of Tanks and Monster Hunter? They seem like very different games. But the premise here is you're basically riding these very well fortified horses with machine guns on them.
How do they even like carry that weight? Like, how are they not dying and their backs should be broken with those heavy weights on there?
They are super horses, all right? So you're fighting these monsters across vast fields while, mounted. And during the hunt, you stay mounted, so you don't get off the mount. It looks interesting, I gotta say.
It looks weird, honestly. It looks more like Dauntless or Monster Hunter World than World of Tanks, if anything. I mean, the only World of Tanks inspiration I see is probably customizing your vehicle and then just going on these hunts with other players. The game won't have any PvP though, which is kind of sad. But they will have apparently large scale or like mid scale PvE encounters. They'll have raids as well, and they claim they'll have very challenging raids. I'm curious how that'll work in like a vehicular shooter style game like this. This looks very odd though. Like
it does
at
look
least
odd.
give them props though. It seems to be different. I don't think I've seen this mold of a game used anywhere else.
No,
So I'll give them props for trying to be different. I'm skeptical to see if it's gonna work or not, but Monster Hunter World has done really well. Even Dauntless has done really well, so there's something here. I mean, at least that nonsense game 1 out of 10. Who knows?
but
there's no release date for this yet.
Also, you gotta hand it to the Koreans that when they wanted to copy an idea like Monster Hunter, right, but free to play, at least they're putting their spin on it, right? The spin on it.
Yeah.
If this was a Chinese game, it'd be like just straight up Monster Hunter.
So the Chinese games are actually hilarious because actually what's really funny is like Chinese games really are shameless, absolutely shameless. Again, I played 300 Heroes this week, and they've added some of the voice lines in the game, copy paste from League of Legends, absolute copy and paste. So, and they really copy every aspect of League of Legends. If you look at go to YouTube and search 300 Heroes real quick and Donkey. Look at Donkey's video for 300 Heroes, just for not even a minute, for like 20 seconds, right? And look at the graphics in his video, right?
League of Legends knockoff, that one?
Yeah, the Donkey one, yeah. Just show it off for like 10. Just look at the graphics in game in this video, and then look at the graphics in game for the video I made for this game. Now you recognize very quickly the graphics in that game are old League graphics. They're like before the graphical update, right? And now look at the new 300 Heroes. This was League of Legends before the graphical tweak. And then of course when League of Legends updated the graphics, 300 Heroes did the exact same thing, copied the exact same visuals in League of Legends, the new one.
That's amazing.
They had the exact same shit graphics that League had, and when League fixed their graphics, they just copy pasted it and like, here we go, let's go use that shit.
I love that the jungle monsters are Pokemon.
Yes, nothing will beat that. That's my favorite aspect of the game. In League of Legends, you get an item called the Hunter's Machete. It lets you do bonus damage to jungle units, right? It's like a machete that the junglers get. In this game, instead of a Hunter's Machete, you buy a Pokeball and upgrade to a Great Ball. It does more damage to jungles. And the jungle, of course, is just Pokemon.
And here's the funny part. Yeah, so in chat, you guys caught on. If you are Blizzard, you spent 20 plus years building an aura of premium quality. To partner with a company like NetEase that just makes shameless garbage all day long is a shame. It's an amazing shame.
I actually played 300 Heroes quite a bit this last week, and I'm actually enjoying just how ridiculous it is. Now, the game itself doesn't have 300 Heroes yet, but it's a complete shameless ripoff of League of Legends, and obviously they give no fucks about copyright. Look at all the heroes in this game, Altai. They have like I think over 180 heroes right now, and they add new heroes every week. You got to hand to these guys. They add so much. Since I first played this game over a year ago, they've added like 100 heroes to the game. They've added like 100 heroes since I last played. There's so many. Like your favorite anime characters are in this game. Like they have everything.
Oh, I found one for you.
I've never heard of.
Look at this lolly right here, Dita.
Ooh, this game's got a lot of good lollies. They got a lot of Toho characters as well. Kurasami Marisa is my favorite Toho character. They got her now. And a lot of these characters are premium. They can only get with cash. You can't unlock them in game. You can play as Yugi Moto. You can play as like Bleach characters, Naruto characters, Steins Gate characters. Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist, Lelouch. They even added recently the Dragon Lolly. They added the Dragon Lolly into the game too.
They have Wally.
Yeah, and Finigi. Yes, they do have Kirisu. You can play as Kirisu in this game. They added Kana. That's their newest hero.
Look at Wally's the laws of thermodynamics. That's one of his moves. What?
Don't you know the laws of thermodynamics are a very important move for Wally?
Oh my god.
This game is actually hilarious. All right, I absolutely love this game. It's so like memey and unbalanced, and also like it's funny because the Chinese, you gotta hand it them in one regard, right? So they copy League in every which way, but instead of being a 5v5 game, like, what if we just made it 7v7? Because why the fuck not? The game is 7v7. There are 14 players in a single game of this, and the beautiful part about this game is the Chinese aren't afraid to innovate, right? They copied the game, and there's a battle royale mode in this game too, just a pure battle royale game mode. You can queue up for battle royale with these characters. This game has like 14 different game modes all the time. They just keep slapping them on.
Tony Grim 91 says, I said the name of the game. He said 300 lawsuits. That's great.
There's Idol Master Sephiroth too. Look at the video. Look at the cast.
Oh my god.
It's actually amazing. Just like the level of no shame gaming that 300 Heroes has. Like this game is actually pretty fun in my opinion because of how ridiculous it is. And honestly, I recommend giving it a try because it's quite memey. There's no English translations though. So you have to kind of navigate the menus, and you won't know what your abilities are in game unless you read the wiki. But it's actually pretty fun with just how crazy stupid the game is. Like I roped a couple of friends into playing this earlier, and it's quite memey. I love it.
Beautiful, a work of art. Mikasa.
They have a skin for Ilya called Holy Grail Lolly Ilya, but she's actually a lolly anyway, so I'm not sure why they called it Holy Grail Lolly Ilya anyway. But they got the Dragon Lolly. They got Kana. There is Illidan. There's Illidan. There's
Queen of Pain.
Anti-Mage. There's Axe. They copied Dota heroes as well with the exact same abilities. They have Axe. They got Demon Hunter. They got Queen of Pain. They're not afraid to copy just straight up heroes from other games as well with the same exact skins. They have. I played yesterday. There was Axe in my game doing counter helix and his default abilities in Dota 2.
Beautiful.
It's remarkable.
They should add some Street Fighter heroes next.
They probably will, honestly. Like, why not? They're not afraid to copy everything, you know. So, I have no doubt that they will. I mean, they have heroes I've never heard of. Like, obviously I know where Kana is. I don't know where P2W is from or Cathali. Like, there's all these anime characters I've never even heard of. So I'm not even sure like about all these characters.
Oh my god,
new skins too.
There's Yugi.
Yeah, there's Yugimoto. I know.
I can play as Yugi.
I know. You can play as Wally. You can play as Yugi. You can play as this game is great.
King of Duelists. Magic removal. 1,000 knives. Black hole. Oh my god. I love
this game. This game is hilarious. They just copy everything. They have something for everyone. The biggest crossover attempt ever conceived. And the thing is, like, obviously this game is just a lawsuit waiting to happen, but it's China, so nothing will happen. But like, this can never happen. And this game can't exist in America, right? It's impossible. But because I guess China's the Wild West for copyright laws, it's this happens. I have a lot of fun playing this.
I try this again. This sounds like fun.
Yeah, we should stream it again. It'll be fun.
My biggest issue was the graphics, but now they updated it with League, it should be fine.
Yeah, the graphics look fine in the game.
Yeah.
You can get stronger playing with friends, Kappa. But yeah, I love playing Chinese meme games, and I'm actually going to show Altai some Chinese meme game after into the post game, which should be pretty exciting.
Well, one more quick thing then before we get to, we're almost out of time actually. We spent a lot more time on this than I thought, but it was fun. I enjoyed talking about that.
I love this game. I played a few hours this week already.
So another Chinese game that we all know and love, Revelation Online, is doing a move that is perhaps like 2 years too late. So they're adding a MOBA mode, a dedicated MOBA mode, where you don't use your actual character, you use a pre-selected list of characters. It's a 5-on-5 MOBA, and it's pretty much identical to League too. Like this is some of their text from the update. Basically, there's a top lane, middle lane, bottom lane, and a jungle. Top lane is solo, mid lane is solo, AP type, ability power type hero. Bottom lane is with AD and support. So straight up copying the meta from League. But I think they're just too late. You know, who's asking for a MOBA? It's almost 2019 now.
And it seems weird because they call it a standalone MOBA, but it's not like a standalone client. So in Revelation Online, you talk to an NPC and you do this PvP mode in game that has nothing to do with your character. So you're not playing your character. You just when you're in Revelation Online, you talk to an NPC, it just queues up for a completely different game within that game. So you just like load up at this MOBA within Revelation Online and you start playing. It's weird because it's not connected to your character. I don't know. It's weird to see a MOBA mode added to this game when it's unrelated to your character. I mean, obviously, I think Final Fantasy 14 has one, but you play as your character in Final Fantasy 14. Other games have added it, but you play as your character. Here, you don't.
I think what they're trying to do is if this does well, they're going to spin it off as a separate game because the mode has a name that sounds like it could be a spin-off game. It's called Legends of Nuanor.
Yeah, that seems unrelated. You know,
if it was just like a mode, they would call it like 5v5 PvP mode or something, right? But I think they want to spin it off if it does well.
I think Tony Green made a good point. A little late to the party at Revelation Online.
Yes,
As
exactly.
Chaos said, MOBAs are grandpa trash now. Battle Royale is in. Yeah, right? Like, we saw Battle Right do the Battle Royale mode too now. You know, like, you gotta spin off the Battle Royale modes, all right? We've seen a lot of games add it too. So, like, other MMORPGs, I think, are adding Battle Royale. They're a little late for the MOBA train.
So this is my favorite
Revelation
part.
isn't dead.
This is my favorite part of the. Okay, so this is how you can tell the guy who wrote this has no clue how MOBAs work. So I'll read this to you guys. This is from the official announcement for the update. Offering something of a distraction from the workaday realms of Revelation Online, Mythical Conflict debuts an exciting new PvP mode that allows you to park your veteran character for a while and enjoy the carefree pleasures of MOBA-style gameplay. Nobody I know who plays MOBAs has described the experience as a carefree pleasure. Okay, they're high stress, people yelling at each other, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah, no MOBA is carefree. Like, that's like, you get really, you know, you start yelling. Those are like the most stressful games I've ever played. At no point is League or Dota carefree.
Yeah, so it's funny that they would word it this way. Are they trolling or they have no clue what they're talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they know what they're talking about. I think it's too clever for them to be trolling that. Yeah, if you play MOBA as carefree, you're the reason we're losing. There you go. If you're trying to play MOBA as carefree as possible, everyone's gonna yell at you, and it's gonna make you not carefree. You know, people are gonna call you every name in the book.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. When I read that, I just burst out laughing.
That's pretty funny. Again, it's just weird because they're definitely really late to the party. So Revelation Online is 153 players on Steam and probably a few players off Steam as well. So the player base numbers are definitely not good. Not great. There's
not
still
great.
people in the game, but they're not great.
By the way, this game was developed by NetEase, if you guys forgot, which is the company that Diablo has entrusted with Blizzard has entrusted with the Diablo franchise. So set your expectations accordingly.
I'm still checking out that picture. The Revelation Online picture in the thumbnail is actually really hot. I don't know. It's really doing it for me. I want to see some Rule 34 of that, of this girl. I want the full picture. She got nice boobs. We get to see some nice. I like her heels. I like the angle we got going there.
I like this
Like
egg
pointer
on the
gun.
right. I want to see some adult content.
I'm not a fan
for
of
this.
Togepi. Get the Togepi knockoff off the screen though. But give me more of that girl. All right, I want some Rule 34 of that. Hook me up, boys.
All right. Well, perhaps we can hook you up in the post game, unless there's anything else you want to quickly cover.
All right, that should be it. We'll take it to the post game.
All right, to the post game with us. Thanks for watching, guys, and take it easy, YouTube.
Take care for YouTube.